All right, you guys should be at the point in your code where you're ready to start creating multiple pages and to start building links in. So this is all going to be about links. Okay, so a link for HTML is the anchor tag. And it's going to have an opening and closing tag. That's what it's going to look like. It's called an anchor tag. Okay, now it has a couple attributes that we want to use when we are specifying something. So if we want to specify a specific reference, we are using the href, and that is a hyperlink reference. Okay, now we have been using we've been using relative URLs. That means that everything needs to be nested inside of our folders that we're talking to. So that makes it so that all we have to do is we just have to call the file. So if I was building, say, my navigation bar, I can do, an index.html. I could have multiple of those for, say, a contact.html, a photos.html, a videos.html, a contact, an about.html. Okay, and these are particularly useful for things that you want them to use. So inside your navigation, you have your nav bar. Remember, so inside of here, we would want to build. So we have our home, just like what we did, and we were separating it with pipes, and we had our about, and we had our contact, or whatever you guys are doing, and let's see, portfolio. Okay, now instead of just doing that, we are going to end up, we want to put these inside of those tags. So we want each one that we click on to be able to do something. So I'm going to create an anchor tag around home. Okay. And inside I'm going to do an href, and I'm going to say that it equals index.html. Okay, so that means that when I click on home, it's going to open up this file on my computer, or that's in that folder. It's going to open up that file. If I do that with my about, I can do the same thing. So href, and that may be my about.html. Now you got to make sure that your spelling is the exact same, and it is case sensitive. So if you have this and your file is actually this, it's not going to find it. Okay, so we can use that to be able to click through our stuff to go to our different pages, which you guys are going to end up having to create. But you don't have to have it where it's just going to a file that you created. You can have it where it's going to, if I had, let's say instead of portfolio, let's say I had one called Google. Okay, I couldn't go like this and create my anchor tag with the href attribute and actually call a website. So I could say, http://www.google.com. Okay, and that would bring it up. It does give us a lot of options of what we can do. We can also choose how this is opening too by using another attribute. Okay, the other attribute is called target. Target, we can tell it if, now there's a number of them. You have self, you have blank, you have parent, you have top, but for most websites nowadays, the only ones that you're really going to use is self, which is written like this, self with the underscore. Okay, and you got to actually put that in quotes. And this will mean that whatever page you're currently on, it's going to open this website or your other pages on top of that one. Okay, so it's not going to open it up in another browser window or another tab. But if you do want it on another tab, then you want to do underscore blank, which makes it so that it's going to open up in a different tab. So that's useful if you wanted them to still keep a certain page open for reference, but to be able to open up another one. We can set that up. Okay, tags and anchors can be used for literally anything that you have. We can even use, so let's say that in my code, I end up having I have my body, okay, and I'm not going to write all the code out again. Inside my body, I have a header. Okay, and they're surfing my website, and let's do this one as an H1. They're surfing my website. They get down all the way down to the bottom, and this is my main title. Okay, they get down all the way down to the bottom, through all my sections and articles and all the other pieces of my code, and they want to get back up to, in my page, the very top of the page. Or you have a really long website and you're trying to make it so that they can navigate to different sections of your website. Some modern websites have one single page that really have like their index, their about, their home, their about, their contact, all their other pieces all nested inside of one page, and all you had to do is scroll. But that's a lot of scrolling, so you can actually give them links to specific parts of your website. So let's say that I'm down in my main, and I am way down in my main. So I am multiple articles in. So section. I'm in my sections. I'm multiple sections down, and I'm in an article that I created. Okay, and inside this article, we have a paragraph that has a whole bunch of text in it, and at the very bottom, or maybe we have its own paragraph, we have something that says, go back, or go back to top. Okay, you want to make this a clickable link so that it would go back all the way to this main title. Okay, we just have to set that up. So inside that paragraph, I'm going to have to put that inside of an anchor tag. So you can see that. I'm putting it inside of my anchor tag, and then I need to give it an href. But what am I going to do with an href? It's still the same document. So this is where the IDs that you guys already learned would come in, because if I give this an ID, and let's say I call it the main title, okay, that's the name that I gave it for an ID, then I can reference that ID. I started off with the hash sign, and then I'm going to give that main title. Make sure that you're spelling it correctly and you're matching the case. So all you're doing is you're writing this title with the hash sign, and you're putting that surrounding what you want to be clicked as an anchor tag. And then when they click on this, it's going to go in the page until this is visible on the screen. So it could be either at the very top, it could be at the very bottom. As long as it's visible, that's what it's going to be looking for. Okay. Anchor tags do not have to be just looking for a website, though. We could use anchor tags. So here, this is using an href to actually open up another page or a contact page, contact.html, and opening up another page. But we could make it where it is where instead of it just saying contact, we could make it where that it's sending like an email to me, or it's providing a phone number. And that is not using the href. That's using another type of attribute where instead of just doing this, I'm going to say mail to, and then I put my email. So I would say, gwalters@lhschools.org. That's going to mail to me when they click on it. It's going to open up the mail browser, and at that point we wouldn't use that target, but they could click, and once they do, then it's going to open up whatever was the default mail program on their computer with this on the to heading. There are other things that we could end up putting on there. You could use the anchor tag if you were trying to get them to download, like, say, a file. And that's just actually using, we could tell it to use a download or a ping. So maybe instead of mailing, I want them to get a contact form. And maybe I have that contact form, so I'll give like a relative link. Contact form.pdf, and I want them to download that when they try to contact me. Okay, instead of just giving that reference, I can tell it to say I want it to download, and then I can tell it to be true, and as long as that's on there, then it's just going to download that file. I could also do ping, which ping is so if you're trying to manage, like, if a person actually downloaded the file, you want to track that. That's where you could ping to, say, a PHP file or something like that to let you know that they have clicked on it. It's going to send some code to let you know that you've done it. Okay? So that's basically how we would use anchor tags. You guys are going to implement this in your code for your navigation. You're going to implement it in a number of other areas. Anchor tags can be used around anything. They can be used around images, icons, logos, text. Okay, it's really whatever you want to surround it with the anchor tags. We can even use it to go back to areas in our original page just by using the ID. Okay.